Hey guys, Kavone here, and welcome to the second episode of the Road to PVM Mastery series. So this week I did a lot of challenge modes, a lot of Gold War Dungeon 2 and a lot of challenge modes. So my intention this week was to try to get a kill of every single challenge mode to make sure I can do it before I start actually grinding them. So I had reasonable amounts of success. So first of all, I went to Twin Furies. Now, I got a request for me to be a bit more in depth on how to actually do these. So yeah. So my setup for Twin Furies challenge mode, I'm basically using tier 80 gear. I'm using a lance. I'm using a scythe. I don't recommend using Drygors. I recommend using a lance or scythe here because the fireballs can really screw you over. And that extra distance is going to be useful. But all in all, Twin Furies is not a difficult challenge mode. Obviously, you see the fireballs flying around, you just have to avoid those. And then you have to then you have to get hit by the blue fireball. So I'm sort of just going to show in a slower motion than the really quick, speedy motion I use. I'm going to do that for all the bosses, except for Vindictor, which is going to be a little bit sped up even more, because Vindictor is a very, very long fight on challenge mode. So, this boss was about 5 minutes. So I did about 11 Fury kills in an hour, and I got a crest on, I believe, the 3rd kill. I also got an essence within those 11 kills and a few dormant cores as well. So now with challenge mode, the only thing that has changed drop rates is the boss pets, but it felt like I was getting more rare drops here than normal. So yeah, pretty easy fight, Furies. I'd say the second easiest on hard mode compared to its normal. And then I actually die here. I get hit by the blast. I was being a bit too greedy. Then I die again. Oh no, that's the clip where I got the crest. But yeah, I then died again. I got hit by a fireball, which wasn't even near me. Then I died again for the same exact reason. I got double fireballed. So yeah, that didn't end well. Then I got lava strike worms, which I'm not going to show too much of. Nothing interesting happened. I didn't get PK'd. Then I did some Zilliana. I got a starved effigy, which is pretty awesome. I then got an offhand crossbow off Zilliana as well. It might have actually been off one of the minions. This was like a kill after I got a Godsword shard. But yeah, I was having a pretty bad hour in terms of loot, and then I get this 6.1 mil drop, and that's totally fine. I also did some QBD in this week. I did a lot of QBD. I had a task for 108 black dragons, and I did that many QBD. I was really short of money, to be honest, so I sort of had to do something profit. Now, after QBD, I thought, okay, I need to tackle the other hard modes. So I was thinking of getting maybe tier 90 gear for some of the challenge modes in Gold War Dungeon 2, but I couldn't decide whether that was going to be what I need. So I thought, okay, Greg's probably going to be the hardest next to Hellweir. Hellweir's just going to be a problem, but Greg I need to get nailed on normal mode. So I decided to give melee a try. Melee is... I do better with range, honestly. Because I compared a melee kill with a range kill, and range is pretty cool. Oh, something funny I noticed. When you're standing outside the instance and he's spawned, he just keeps repeating the line, "I'm so lonely." That makes me think of a Freddie Mercury song, which is quite funny. So yeah, I was finally getting the hang of Gregorovich, because I didn't realise until now that he actually broadcasts what attacks he's going to use when. So you can actually prepare for them. You can devotion, you can sidestep the spikes a lot easier than I originally thought you could. So yeah, after this I was feeling a bit confident for doing hard modes. I also got the Venerated title here. I killed some for ingression fragments. Now, this is the big one. This is the big one that I thought I could never ever do. Like, I once went to hell with challenge mode, and I lasted 45 seconds, and I did 30k damage. So, I came back after having watched a guide on how to position in this boss. I came back with blood spells. Admittedly, I don't need blood spells, but if I'm maging something for the first time, I always take blood spells because that helps learn the fight. I wasn't doing practice mode or anything either. Now, as you might see through this kill, I do sort of improve as the kill goes on. I start using Anticipate after like the second or third set of mushrooms, but effectively, before I was trying to use my normal mode strategy, like protecting against melee, taking a scythe, and resonancing. Also, I wasn't thinking of using metamorphosis. This time I was, and I decided I'm not going to protect from melee at all. I'm going to just soul split it all, because if I can self heal, I'm doing quite a bit of damage here. And honestly, it's not that difficult. It's just finding the setup that works for you. In terms of gear, I was using Virtus and a Nox Staff with Blood Barrage. And obviously I was taking Rocktails and Sabrews. I'm going to be taking Rocktails and Sabrews to all of these in future. I'm also using an Amulet of Souls for all of these challenge modes. Now, these kills are expensive. You don't get much in return. The only reason to ever do challenge modes is for the challenge of it, like the prestige of doing it as well, or if you're doing the same fighter boss, which I guess I sort of wanted all of those. But yeah, Vindictus is much worse for like not being any point in fighting it. So yeah, I managed a couple Hellboy kills actually on challenge mode. I did die once, I will show that. So other things that I did this week, like I'm showing a lot of challenge mode kills here, and to keep the video time shorter, because it would be quite a bit too long. Oh, there I die. To keep the video time a little bit short, I decided I was going to sort of skip all the Slayer assignment and some of the minor bosses. Like I did do KBD as well. I did a lot of Slayer. I did Celestial Dragons. I did Lava Strike Worms, Nihils. Even Rune Dragons I didn't include in here. So I did a duo at Bandos with my friend. We saw Tacit's drop on like the second kill, and weirdly enough, we saw it drop off a minion, not the boss. And I have to say, in all of Godward Dungeon, I think I've only ever twice seen a rare drop off a minion, aside from a Godsword Shard. So yeah, Poi died as well, which was really funny. So I included it into the video if you noticed it there. And then we took about 15 minutes to work out the splits, because for some reason, he made it very difficult to work out splits. I was like, you trade me half of what loot you got, and I trade you half of what loot I got, and it's like, well, no, like, it's just, goddamn, just split what you've got. Now, this is another challenge mode. This was Vindicta. Now, Vindicta isn't that different on challenge mode. I'm using Torva and a Scythe. Honestly, you can mage this though, but I decided against maging because of the ranged hit in phase 2. There's actually 3 phases here. Now, what makes this fight really long is the fact that there's 3 phases and there's effectively 600k you have to burn down, because these first 2 phases are not that different. The ranged hit is almost a one-shot, so you have to have some sort of protection or resonance against it. But then after, like, you might see the health bar is 300k. After that runs out, you have to fight the dragon on its own. So that he has 300k health, as you can see now, and hits incredibly hard and incredibly fast with melee. This is what makes the boss a marathon, because you need a lot of consumables to just maintain your health. You have to be constantly mitigating this damage. There's not really much you can resonance off this, so you have to be really using Devotion, Debilitate, Pulverize and Anticipation, which was what I was using every time they were off cooldown, although I was never using Devotion with any of the other abilities because that would sort of feel like a waste. But yeah, this fight took me 8.5 minutes. This was one heck of a long fight. As you can see, like, this dragon just is not going down. So yeah, the fire can be a bit of a pain, but fire's just not really a problem. Honestly, if you're getting hit by fire, like, if fire's a massive problem, you shouldn't even be doing challenge mode. You should have gotten out of that problem on hard mode, on normal mode rather. So yeah, now this is me trying Gregorovich challenge mode. Now Gregorovich is, in my opinion, maybe one of the easiest in comparison to its normal mode. Now, normal mode Greg is really difficult as it is, but I didn't really feel there was much difference in terms of Gregorovich hard mode, except for the last phase. So yeah, he basically summons 2 of these spirits. They're quite easy to deal with, although I'll show you a kill after this where I didn't deal with them properly and I had the most messy kill in history. But yeah, I'm basically doing Gregorovich challenge mode. I learned from earlier, based on my tests with melee and ranged, that I should be ranging, so I'm using Pernix and Ascensions. I'm also learning from the use of my abilities, well, the use of his abilities, like when he's broadcasting, when I have to Devotion. But in terms of damage, he doesn't do any increased damage, and that's the crazy thing. Like, challenge mode Gregorovich is, aside from the extra phase, is virtually not different at all. So yeah, I'm bursting him down. I'm about getting to the next phase now. Obviously, for the first kill, the next phase is a bit of a shock, because you're like, okay, I read about this, but this feels weird. A strategy I found was that you had to keep clicking on the white. Like, every click would be an auto attack, so you had to keep doing it. Obviously you can't eat in this phase as well, But you do deal poison, which I found was quite funny because you're basically Greg at this point. But yeah, I managed to deal with them reasonably quickly. I only had about 90k left. The second kill was much worse. He had like 125k. But yeah, I basically only did 2 kills of Grigorovich. I did them all on the same inventory though, which only Furies have I managed more than 1 kill on a full inventory. Granted, I've not actually. No, that's a lie because I did Hellware on a live stream. I did 2 Hellware kills on 1 inventory. So yeah, that was the good kill. The next one is what happens when you have a frankly horrible kill. Where you let too many of the red minions get to Grigorovich. You just like everything just starts going wrong because if he's spawning more red ats, then he is going to be spawning them quicker and quicker and quicker. So yeah, I almost died during this fight. Like immediately when I turned into Greg himself. I almost died then, so that was quite difficult. That could have been hilarious. Now, after this, I went to Dagonoth Kings. I've never done Dagonoth Kings before now, so I didn't know what to expect. I underestimated him. I took Void. I thought I could just Void it, and no, you actually do need defense. So I went back with War Priest. Right now on screen you're seeing what happened when I took Void and how long I didn't last there. So I was getting absolutely minced for damage, especially when all 3 of them were up. I wasn't able to protect prayer because all of them were up, so I had to just soul split. But yeah, that was dreadful. So I've also assessed what I need for Insane Final Boss, what I need left for Insane Final Boss. I'm going to have it on screen now, in the left corner. So as you can see, there's a lot I still need to do. The pets are all going to be grinds on their own. Now, I also live streamed during this section. Now, if you want to see any more live streams, it's Cravone_gaming at Twitch. Now, I did some terrible Telos attempts here. I finally did get a kill, but I died a couple times, and I was just pure bad. Now, I do want to give a shout out to all the guides I used for the hard mode Gorbo Dungeon 2 and Telos. Now, the guides I use are by a guy called Jungsung. You can find him on YouTube. I'd advise look him up if you want challenge mode guides, because I won't be doing challenge mode guides for now. But honestly, I don't think I could make challenge mode guides better than his. So if you need guidance on those challenge modes, go see his videos, because he's brilliant. Like, his guys are brilliant. So I actually managed to catch on camera me dying to an instant kill mechanic, which I found funny. Next Angel of Death, maybe next time. I get wrecked this time again, fail. So this is a more slowed down, because this is the one that I actually got the kill. Now, Telos, the difficulty I have with Telos is the attack rotation and getting used to his attack rotation. Because if you're able to anticipate before the stun, you're going to be much better off. Now, my friend Cool Cat has had trouble with. No, actually, I don't know if it's Cool Cat or Darren, but one of the two has had trouble with avoiding his uppercut attack. Now, the way you avoid this is you have to surge at a particular time. Yes, if you're lagging, it will make it much more difficult. So just don't live in Australia. So, because that's an option. So yeah, I was really bad with blocking these beams. But in phase 1 it's a problem, in phase 3 it's a problem, but in phase 2 it's not that bad because you can devotion. As long as it's not like, as long as it doesn't last too long, you're sort of fine. So, something I find really obnoxious in this fight is phase 3, it's like, you have to keep these ads down, otherwise this bar's going to charge. But at the same time, I want to be in that red beam to take advantage of being able to sunshine and adrenaline pot and just burst him down, really. So yeah, I managed to get to phase 4. I was doing well on food, and then phase 4 started, and I almost ran out of food by the end of this kill. And like he's like super low already, but I was doing everything wrong. I was getting hit by so much stuff. I was staying under the orb too long. I was getting stunned by ads. I wasn't AoEing the ads enough either. Yeah, I was just getting wrecked by so much stuff. It was unbelievable. As you can see, like my food is just rapidly going. So yeah, this was a bit of a nightmare fight, to be honest. But I got the kill eventually, at least. So I'm happy about that. The loot honestly was not worth it. The loot was terrible. But I don't feel that I'm ready for doing enrages yet. I need to get much better, much cleaner with those kills. So I then ended the stream, and this is going to be the end of the video actually, with doing hard mode Hellware. Now I do apologise if I rambled a bit. I've been doing this this voice recording in one take. I've not stopped the recording at all. So obviously this is post commentary as well, because I can't speak over sped up gameplay. So yeah, I've gotten the hang of Hellware challenge mode now. It's not too difficult. It's just like getting into a pattern of using the corners appropriately was the big thing for me. Because before I'd always get stuck in those mushrooms and have nowhere to go for the exploding mushrooms, and I'd get stunned. But now I've got the solution. It's like to go into the corners, anticipate, and then surge immediately when he's spawning the more permanent mushrooms. Obviously, the explosion mushrooms can be a bit iffy with their hit detection. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.